What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods, like content that puts you on Atlanta -1.5 as they are smacking the souls off of the New York Yankees. It was beautiful. It was really lovely. You guys are crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get some love. Maybe I won't. It just depends. Probably just be like, oh, well, you've been so bad anyway. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because I'm working as hard as I possibly can every single day to give you the best content and give you the best chance to beat the books as possible. That's my job. And hey, I've hit bets before, but it still feels really good to hit some lots for the people. Feels nice, just like it feels nice if you sign up over at BetMGM. You can jump into that premium Discord where I'm firing my betting card every single Sunday through Friday, as well as you'll get yourself $1,000 back in bonus bets on your first wager. If it doesn't win, this is how it works. Put $50 into BetMGM. You'll get $50 back if your first wager doesn't win. If it does, keep the money. It's beautiful stuff. So all the way up to $1,000, no matter what your bankroll is, no matter how much you feel comfortable with, get yourself exposure to another book. Get exposure to as many books as possible. There's a couple of them lingering down there in the video description box below. I should probably point you in that direction from time to time. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But 15 games, not a lot of time to chit-chat here at the top of the show, but I will say, this is the very last time I'm ever going to do the show from this space. Got a house, got to move into the house, got to do all of the things. Going to have a new background starting tomorrow night. Wild times. What a time to be alive. Producer Jacob, he's sad for me. Oh, actually, no, he should be excited. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff. Yay. Okay, I'm done talking. Let's get to the next. I'm a little bummed out because I was hoping that this could be an autoplay because mainly betting on Graham Hashcraft has been an autoplay for us of late. And get in the zone, auto zone. It's been automatic. The connective tissue of that joke needs some work. But either way, Logan Allen on the mound. I'm not going to go out of my way to go pick on this emerging. I'm not going to call him ace, but emerging star pitcher. But that's kind of what an ace is. 421 expected slugging, 22.4% K rate, emerging good major league pitcher. That's what we're talking about. As for Graham Ashcraft on the other side, though, he's been off to a very, very sluggish start, but he's started to put it together here in his last couple outings. Now, he still has a 345 xWOBA and 274 expected batting average here on the season, but as I look ahead to tomorrow's slate, still a guy who's starting to put together some outings, starting to put up some performances over his last 30 days. He sits middle of the pack, and that's not a number that I'm looking at lightly here, going up against a Cleveland team that I don't find to be all that prohibitive, especially now that, it's basically just Andres Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, and nothing else. Gabriel Arias maybe one day, but he strikes out at a 33.8% clip. Cole Calhoun, Ramon Laureano. This was 6 years ago. It would be amazing to have them on your baseball club as well. Oscar Gonzalez. Bo Naylor's been an okay hitting catcher, but nothing special. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just difficult here because I do find Logan Allen to be a very, very phenomenal arm. Literally, you could coin flip this one and pick a side on it. I know this total is perfectly efficient at 9.5 here in Great American Small Park. So, like, Cleveland money line. There you are. Flipping coins. Don't bet this. Stay away from everything. I know Cleveland, but again, there's no way we're going to find any value with home run props here. Probably just to stay away from a game altogether. Not staying away from this one, we have Houston. We have Miami. Christian Javier going up against Johnny Cueto in this one. And Johnny Cueto, he's 100 years old and he's still finding ways to be relevant. He chose wisely. We're talking a 20.7 degree average launch angle, but that's mitigated a little bit in Miami here. 305 xWOBA, 420 expected slugging. As for Christian Javier on the other side, 465 expected slugging, 333 xWOBA. Not very good in those departments, that's for sure. And the 22.4% K rate is over 10% down from last season. So overall, I think this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, though, because we're in Miami and I can't remember the last time I saw a 9 total in Miami. I have this for 8.4 runs, which might not sound all that fantastic, but 5-4 ends a game. If both of these teams get close to their implied totals there, a 5-4 baseball game ending on a push is worth it for me to be taking this shot here. Again, 8.4. not all half runs are created equal, and this projects out as a like play as a result. You want to talk through the math of it? We can do that at some point in time. But I do like an under here. Already hit a little half unit on it. Nothing crazy here, mainly because I do respect the power that exists on the left side of the plate. And Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, and yeah, continues to have crazy reverse splits. Mr. Yanner Diaz, right-handed hitting catcher for Houston. As for the Marlins, Jake Berger, Jazz Chisholm, Jesus Sanchez, Jorge Soler, Brian De La Cruz, Avisal Garcia, Josh Bell. They have a lot of pieces on this Miami baseball team. They have power and can do things. Just think this ballpark and Christian Javier are enough for me to lean on the under. And then, well, like it. Damn it. There it is. You're not going to like this one. I know you, viewer. I know you. Boston, Washington, here we are. Going to be an interesting one with Nick Pivetta on the mound, going up against Josiah Gray. And Nick Pivetta, we've been going on a deep dive on him. I feel like a lot more on Lindy's Locks update than we have on this particular program, mainly because I have more time. I can do whatever I want. I'm usually just breaking down 1 or 2 games more in depth for you. Like, I don't know, Atlanta -1.5. That went well. Hopefully Baltimore can get it done for me in the evening window as well. But looking at Nick Pivetta, he's had some pretty pronounced differences between being a starter and being a reliever. But of late, hasn't really mattered. And that's kind of what you would expect from a pitcher over a longer sample size. But I got to say, there's certain teams where he's been able to avoid the 1 through 3, 1 through 4 in some capacity, like Atlanta, a couple of other outings where those 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 are very nice to be avoiding and only have to face 1 or maybe 2 times through that turn in the rotation. But we saw him have that ridiculous outing in Seattle. I don't know if I really speak to like the 29.6% K rate, as that's something he's just going to continue to repeat as a starter here. But I do know this Washington team does not strike out. We're talking the second lowest strikeout average against right-handed pitching over the course of the season, just 19%. Although a 135 ISO, 88 WRC plus, not always doing stuff with it. But Nick Pivetta, a 43.2% hard hit percentage, a 416 expected slugging, a 14.3 degree average launch angle. There's at least the chance that he is giving up some power to these Washington Nationals at the top of the lineup, the Stone Garretts of the world. I guess Jeter Downs is there now. Lane Thomas, Keibert Ruiz. Yeah, Stone, talked about him a second ago. Even C.J. Abrams there, even though Pivetta, he's been known to give up some homer power in some spots, even if there aren't necessarily guys who stand out in that department. As for Josiah Gray on the other side of this one, he's got his work cut out for him here with a 19.9% K rate and a 10.7% walk rate going up against this litany of lefties. And yes, Trevor Story already back in the fray. Everyone knows I'm in. That was a fray joke. We're talking 35% K rate. That's not good, but 489 expected slugging with a 75% hard hit percentage over just 12 batted ball events. That's not going to continue, but it's fantastic to see right out of the gate if you're a Boston fan. And, well, yes, I mean, the Yankees keep falling by the wayside. Maybe you're going to have everybody else from the AL East show up there in the old playoffs. Going to be fun. Going to be a wild chase there in September. But I'm looking at the Washington side, how they are getting +1.5 here. And, well, they should be. But at this number, -115 at BetMGM, our sponsor, BetMGM, that is really good stuff. I'm going to be firing that one up for a half unit as well. Already did. You should be doing the same. Washington getting the 1.5 on the run line. It's a dicey spot, but the math projects out in their favor. We got Yusei Kikuchi and the Toronto Blue Jays playing host to Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, Philadelphia, if you had told me Zach Wheeler was -15 going just about anywhere, period, with this lineup about, 3 months ago, I would have called you crazy that we weren't hammering this and playing the Philadelphia money line just immediately. However, I don't think that is something that we really want to be tangoing with too much. Trey Turner is in the middle of the worst season humanly imaginable. We're talking about Bryson Stott, a lot of lefties. I would even say Bryce Harper, 289 with just 7 homers, 802 OPS. Not his best season. And a lot of those guys, him, Schwarber, neutralized by the left-on-left matchup against Kikuchi. However, we'll talk about some righty power here in a second. On the other side of this one is where you got Yusei Kikuchi and, 41.7% hard hit percentage, 436 expected slugging, and something that I want to incorporate more and more into my analysis for you on a day-in, day-out basis. I want to talk a little bit more about how these guys set up specifically against that handedness. And Yusei Kikuchi, like most lefties, giving up power hard to righties. Yes, XISO well north of that 1.6, 1.8 type number that you're looking for. So, Yusei Kikuchi going up against Alec Boehm, going up against Nick Castellanos, assumed to be batting second and fourth in this lineup for tomorrow. I'm going to pick the best number available between the two, or maybe both of them project out pretty well here. I've got Nick Castellanos as a break even of plus 365 here, Alec Boehm plus 380, even though Boehm's had the shorter numbers in some of these spots. So I'm just going to put them both on the card here in the corner. And I know you sickos are going to parlay it and you're going to do whatever. So have fun at it. But for the most part, wanted to draw your attention to two bats that have north of that nice 46% hard hit percentage number. Actually, Alec Boehm is at 42.6%, but 440 expected slugging for him, 447 expected slugging for Nick Castellanos. I'm going to be betting at least one of them. If you want to know which one, hit me up at Eric Lindquist on the old Twitters /X/ whatever Elon's calling it these days. I know what the Mets are calling it these days. Packing it in. Packing it in. The Mets hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates here. If you didn't listen to the last segment, that segue makes no sense. Although I would love a segue. They look fun to ride on. Bailey faltered. He faltered like that joke. 470 expected slugging, 283 expected batting average for the Pirates starter here. He's not very good. There you go. David Peterson is in either, though. 45% hard hit percentage, 341 xWOBA. But overall, though, this game is just disgusting. I have no interest in betting these two baseball teams at this point in time with these two starters on the mound. If you made me force myself to do something, I might just take the plus 150 run line shot here with Pittsburgh, but there's enough power in that Pittsburgh lineup, although most of it from the left side. David Peterson should have a decent enough chance there. Just can't pull it together here to try to take this shot. I think we just pass, move along. Much better spots to get onto the card, like the next one where we got two plays. Yeah, you heard me. Two plays here. I'm very happy with these Atlanta Braves at the moment, up 8-2, middle of the sixth here. Barring catastrophe, I think we're in a really, really good spot with that one. Hopefully you were able to make some money. It was really nice. But in this spot, a little bit different here than what we were staring at on Monday. We've got Bryce Elder, the Elder Wand, going up against Luis Severino. And I expected, when I saw Severino's name, to insta-bet. I expected my sheet to say, Eric, you should be jamming here. But this is more to do with what Elder is capable of doing, and that is bad stuff, as opposed to what Luis Severino is capable, because he's not anymore. We're talking a 531 expected slugging for Severino, 389 xWOBA, an 11.2% barrel percentage. And Bryce Elder, he can limit the barrels. That's a big thing when you're facing Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, even Jake Bauers with a 524 expected slugging, Gleyber Torres with a 473 expected slugging as well. But, friends, he's got that 262 expected batting average and just a 17.7% K rate. If you're not going to be striking out the likes of the Judge and Stantons of the world, you're going to run into their bats more times than you're not, and that's not going to go well for you. However, this Atlanta Braves team is just on another planet here at the moment. We've been backing them a lot. We avoided the absolute trap, I would call it, on Sunday. Part of that was Kadai Senga is my boy, and of course, my sheet wasn't going to tell me to play the Braves against him there, so avoided that, even though I didn't end up on the Mets there in that spot. I will end up, though, on the Braves on the run line to get aggressive, in addition to pairing it with the over of 10.5. Yes, I think the Braves are fully capable of putting up 6, 7, 8, 9 runs against Severino. This might be the last chance you get to bet against Severino, so I want the run line. I want the over. I think the Yankees can add enough to it here for us up against Elder. Then let's just make a parlay, people. Single game parlay style. Atlanta minus 1.5, over 10.5. And then all you people who just want to mix in your hits, you guys have fun with that. And Twins. Yes, my Minnesota Twins hosting the Detroit Tigers here. And it's Alex Faedo. Alex Faedo on the mound. Yeah. He hasn't been very good. Even though a 1.07 whip, he has positive regression coming his direction very soon. Whereas Bailey Ober, I think we're kind of at the ceiling with some of his numbers. I wasn't super enthusiastic for like the 6'11" Jolly Green Giant that Bailey Ober is. I think he's actually 6'9", if I'm being correct. But 35.4% hard hit percentage for him, the 24.3% K rate, 4.3% walk rate. He's been no doubt impressive, but he carries that 9.4% barrel percentage. He definitely has a nice matchup against Detroit, no doubt about that. I just think we're kind of at his ceiling at this point in time. And Detroit, they do have enough power that they add to the fray with Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, and company. However, if I had to do anything here, I'd still be leaning myself towards an under because Alex Fado, again, get this, 38.1% hard hit percentage, good. 6.1% walk rate, really good. And then you put that next to his 4.47 expected ERA with a 5.80 ERA. Positive regression is in store for him here. The main reason I'm not going to bet this is I have more interest in prop exposure. Target field, for whatever reason, books have not liked Twins lefties. We were getting plus 800 on Matt Wallner. You're not going to get plus 800 on him in some department here. So more on the lookout for props than anything, but more than likely staying away from this game, sadly, altogether. That is the most excited I've been in my entire life as you look at me on the screen right there. But you know what? I get excited when I can help you guys make money, when I can help you make good decisions. And a really good decision you can make tomorrow to guarantee yourself a win on Tuesday in the MLB streets is taking advantage of this promotion. Now, you get up to $1,000. Let me repeat that one more time. Up to $1,000 back in bonus bets on your first wager if it loses. Here's how that works. You get $100. You put $100 down on something. You'll get $100 back in bonus bets if that first wager doesn't win. Now, if it's something like plus 200, plus 250, and you win, you get to keep that money. Just run to the bank, cash it out. Sounds great, but up to $1,000 you're getting back on that first wager. I'd get a little bit aggressive on that first wager, that's for sure. I think it's a great opportunity for you. So no matter what, that money's coming back to you in some capacity, either in bonus bets or in cash moolah that you won. So take advantage of that promotion. You'll also get 2 free months of myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, everybody you know and love on this Odd Chopper channel. You'll be getting 2 free months of that OS Premium Discord. Simply download the Discord on your desktop or on your phone. Get yourself my betting card every single Sunday through Friday in the MLB streets. The NFL streets are soon, and then everybody, the real ones know, the NBA streets, that's where we just demolish and smash and crush and do all of those things. But NFL, it's kind of my baby too. It's going to be phenomenal stuff. MLB, hey, we've found our way to being profitable through the lulls, through the sways, through everything else. If you want to come enjoy the ride and talk with some really sharp people in that Discord all around the clock, check out this promotion in the link below over at BetMGM, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks. We got the Cardinals hosting Oakland 3-2. St. Louis in the bottom of the 5th right now for those who care. Those who care, anybody? Do you care? Do you care? I think you do. I know Texas is up 4-0 now in the bottom of the 3rd too. It's going to be a beautiful day here on Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, which means probably crickets in the comments section. But I love chaos. Want to see how I got these scars? By probably the fact that I've been betting Oakland too much over the course of the season, even though they have a green plus sign next to them. So I've been profitable with them. And well, it's because when you bet them, you're getting 2-1 pretty much every single time, regardless of who is on the mound. Now, in this spot, I have no idea who's going to be on the mound on the Oakland side of things. A number of pieces that we're just going to have to wait on news for. It's going to have to be somebody from AAA. They didn't call anybody up yet, so I guess should probably get on that, huh? Probably get on that. Again, who's listed here on the Oakland side? Because this is the weirdest thing ever. They legitimately don't have a pitcher listed, but they have a line listed. What a time to be alive. Normally, you can't do those things, but FanDuel, they don't care. We have St. Louis on the other side of this one, and, well, we do know who's going to be starting for them. It's Dakota Hudson, and I'm from South Dakota. I do not claim Dakota Hudson. That would be weird if I did. I very highly doubt he's from South Dakota. They just have the same name. However, Dakota Hudson 3-0 on the season, which should just tell you record doesn't mean jack diddly squat. 4.31 ERA, 1.40 whip. Pretty wild stuff here, but I got my producer in my ear. Hang on, producer in the ear. Yep. We're gonna check in on that. Tarnock. Yeah, there we go. We got Mr. Tarnock. Why don't you tell the people, producer Jacob, they need to hear your voice.
It was supposed to be Tarnock, but about an hour ago, he's diagnosed with a calf strain, and he's on the 15th day.
Well, shit. Why don't we just hijack some nuclear weapons and hold the world hostage? Yeah. You like that? Seth Brown to home run is still going to project out well for me against Dakota Hudson. This guy is giving up hard contact, 45.5%, even if it is low launch, 5.4 degree average launch angle, 48.5% ground ball rate. So why do I like Seth Brown? Well, because he lofts it in the air, friends. We're talking a 17.2 degree average launch angle with a 48.4% hard hit percentage. He is projecting out big time for me. Yeah, it's only 85 at first pitch right now in the next 3 days here in St. Louis. But 75% humidity. Ball should still be flying here. Let's get Seth Brown. Anything better than plus 420, please? Please? That'd be great. Texas. Well, I bet them last night, -1.5. They're absolutely smashing up 5-0, bottom of the third against Patrick Sandoval, who's just terrible, just throwing it out there. However, the line shifted pretty heavily in the Texas Rangers' favor. Didn't want anybody else to be jumping on that. I apologize to the people who on Twitter, I was just like, hey, you probably missed the boat on it. It's a whole thing. But anyway, don't miss the boat today. Bet this number. Now, we got the Texas Rangers hosting the Angels yet again here in this spot. And as you can see above me, Lucas Giolito, the acquired, for no reason, Lucas Giolito, going up against Jordan Montgomery. This is somebody that you wanted to have on your roster if you're the New York Yankees. I think I bring that up pretty routinely. Lucas Giolito, is him, Lance Lynn. They would have made sense with the Dodgers because they'll just revamp these guys. But Giolito, 25.1% K rate. Good. Everything else is tough. 446 expected slugging, nearly an 11% barrel percentage, 18.2 degree average launch angle. You're looking at Houston. We have a problem, but this is Texas, the whole state of, even though it's Dallas technically or Arlington. I don't get that. But 56.5% hard hit percentage for Corey Seager. Be on the lookout for that one. Could be very interested, even as a short odds player. More short odds players making the card lately that are projecting out for positive EV. Gonna have to check in on that. Gonna have to check in and do some back testing, but don't need to back test this one. I know it's good value. The Texas money line going with Jordan Montgomery here, 255 expected batting average and just a 21.3% K rate. Not my favorite things, but he limits a lot more power here this season. Only has a 23.6% fly ball rate against him. So a 6.6% walk rate, doesn't beat himself. Sub 39% hard hit percentage, doesn't get whacked. We're talking whack-a-mole, baby. Texas money line. Let's just keep picking on the Angels because they are dust, and to dust they shall return. Except for Shohei Ohtani, I want him on the Twins, but that's never going to happen in a million years. But he's probably going to be a Dodger. It probably never really mattered altogether, and life is meaningless. Cool. Next game. We got the South Side versus the East Side. The White Sox. We got the Cubs. Tuki Toussaint going up against Kyle Hendricks. 15 games. Sometimes we get to this point of the season, it's August 15th, 2023, the year of our Lord 2023, but I just don't want to talk about it. You're going to make me talk about a game that I just hate at this point? Fine. Tuki Toussaint, 355 expected slugging, 15.9% walk rate. That's really, really bad. Kyle Hendricks, 31.9% hard hit percentage, 3.9% walk rate. Those are really, really good things, but only a 16% K rate for him, 23.4% for Tuki Toussaint. Got to pay attention to the win. Looks like it's going to be blowing across 8.5. The total's already out. Pass. No, thank you. Pass. Over 8.5 would just be the lean here, but I do not want to do anything here. These pitchers mitigate damage just enough in their own interesting little ways. This is perfectly efficient. We don't want to bet this. You don't want to bet this. Promise me you're not going to bet this? Somebody's going to bet this. I'm going to be mad. Go ahead. Next game, over 8.5. Just a lean. Yikes. 5 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we go to something that I like. And something that I like is value. And it was weird because Kansas City was the team that we ended up on Monday. Why don't we just flippy floppy over to the other side of this one? We have Jordan Lyles on the mound for Kansas City, and I have no redeeming qualities for Jordan Lyles whatsoever. 6.13 ERA. We're talking 1.27 whip. Actually, there's one thing that I can point out, and that's that the ground balls, he's had these periods of time, like 11 of them against Boston last time out, where they show up alongside with some Ks, and it's not so bad. But it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I don't want to bet you. I like the Stan version personally, but the Seattle Mariners, I want to be backing this Emerson Hancock fellow. I'll go get his John Hancock after the game. If he can go out and get us a good outing, but I think he's actually got some decent stuff. Going across some of his numbers, because I was kind of unfamiliar with him until yesterday. 35.7% hard hit percentage, 167 expected slugging. Now, 15% K rate, 50% walk rate. It's one damn start. We're not going to read any much into that more than we need to. And that start was against the San Diego Padres. They haven't been very good. It was also in Seattle. This one is in Kaufman. Going to be a little bit warmer there for the Bulldog, but he's a touted Georgia Bulldog, first rounder out of 2020. And overall, you go to his minor league numbers, been okay with the Arkansas Travelers. Yeah, I was going to do a Blues Travelers joke. Party on. I don't want to give me the runaround. Get it? Sure, far away. Let's keep in touch when all it does is slow me down. I think that's right. Anyway, I kind of like the stuff. I'm going to just invest in it because Seattle, why not? Minus 150 against Kansas City. Again, we wanted Kansas City to win here. They're getting the job done. We're just going to sweep the board. They're up 4-0 bottom of the fifth. I would love to sweep the board here today. It's part of the fun of doing this live. We'll do it live, but also now we're going to the Seattle side. I'm just, man must have a code. My code is bet on better starting pitching. Oh, cool. The same play that I had on Monday is going to be the play that I had on Tuesday. And let's see. Let's check in on this one because I actually didn't end up on the over of this one. Ended up being a big number. I expect to be a big number here again as well. Oh, 2-0, bottom of the third, 2 outs. Maybe Colorado can get a couple across for anybody who maybe tried to take that gander. I just stayed away from it entirely. Merrill Kelly, I gave him enough respect here. I don't know exactly what we're going to run into with Arizona here, but it has it as Slade Ciccone as the guy who got called up here. So Slade Ciccone, 103 innings there in AAA Reno. Impossible to know what somebody has in AAA Reno. How many times can I tell you? The PCL, Pacific Coast League, it's on roids when it comes to runs. It is the most hitter-friendly of all AAA parks, or all AAA leagues, excuse me. They have a lot of hitter-friendly parks. Albuquerque. I know a lot of you liked that one yesterday. I'll throw that out there again. But AAA Reno, the best of the ballparks, because Reno, way up there in the air. It's also beautiful this time of year. Go take a dip. Lake Tahoe. It's good times. But yeah, we got Ty Blach on the other side of this one. And you know by now that Ty Blach, not my favorite guy. 1.44 whip. Doesn't really do anything in terms of strikeouts. In fact, has not had more than 2 strikeouts in a single game this season. Oh my God, I almost took the under of his 3 strikeouts the other day, and it didn't happen. Now I'm kind of lamenting it. Now even looking at that, but yes, facing the Dodgers in that W that he had. Well, he didn't get the W, but the Colorado Rockies did take 1 game over the weekend in that 4-game set against the Dodgers there. But Ty Blach, not very good. Not going to be doing a whole lot other than betting it over in the event that it stands out and isn't at 12.5 or something here. Looking at 11.5. If I can get something around that in Colorado tomorrow, sweet. But as it stands, same exact play, over infinity runs again. What do you want me to do? There's no line. Oh, weird. We're going to do the same thing we did in this one, too. Oh, weird. We're going to do the same thing we did in this one, too. I like to repeat myself. The Baltimore Orioles taking on the San Diego Padres yet again. We ended up on the Baltimore side of this one. I ended up backing Grayson Rodriguez for a lock. Yeah, I ended up doing a full unit on that one. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. But Jack Flaherty against Michael Waka coming off the IL. This feels like a better spot. Flaherty, 386 expected slugging, 35.9% hard hit percentage. Had a rough outing, last go of it, but 11% walk rate. That's the thing he's got to trim down. But this ballpark is better than what he's going to be running into there in Baltimore against lefties. So not a ton of lefties. Talked through that today with Grayson Rodriguez. Juan Soto, get by him. Trent Grisham, batted 9-hole. Probably going to be doing that again. Didn't have Matt Carpenter. Wasn't in the lineup. And G-Man Choi got put on the 10-day IL, which was kind of something I was waiting in terms of news. I ended up getting the right breaks in terms of the way that lineup complexion turned out for Grayson Rodriguez. Think we want the same thing here for Jack Flaherty. As for San Diego, Michael Waka. I don't know what to make of what we're going to get from him coming off of the 15-day IL, but he hasn't pitched since July 1st. July 1st. It's been a hot second. They shut him down, but then it was only 15-day IL. He went to AAA Paso, ended up having an okay 2 innings there, but overall, I'm guessing him to go out and throw like 70, 75 pitches. And this San Diego middle relieving bullpen, whether it's Nick Martinez, some of these other guys, they're not very good. They're just not. Plus 124. I have this as a lean, but but like also, I'm going to bet this. So I just want to throw this. This is going to be a half unit after the show, but it was a lean because it wasn't up. Now it's up, and now we're going to bet it. Plus 124, Baltimore. Give me that, please. Not a lot to talk about with this one here. We got San Francisco. They're going to be a headache. You know by now that that's just what we're going to run into. TBD. Yeah, you know me. Then Tampa Bay on the other side of this one. I have some assumed starters of what we're going to run into. It's not a guarantee, not a Sam T guarantee. For anybody who watched Willy Wonka, that's a deep cut. But Zach Littell is probably who ends up getting the start here. Another turn in the rotation. He's been okay. Been okay as a starter here. Hasn't, 6 earned now in his last 5 outings total. His last 3 that he's made all starts in. 2 wins, 1 loss. We're talking 5 total earned runs in the course of, 17 innings. Pretty good stuff from Zach Littell if it ends up being him. But Tampa Bay, they got other stuff that they need to be handling too. It's a pretty wonky organization, pretty wonky situation there. Horrible situation if we're being dead honest. So if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It's all over the place. You know what I'm talking about. But let's just stay away from this game in general. I don't think it's going to be one we want to be betting with the San Francisco relieving situation. It would take some interesting lines for me to really have interest here. But Zach Littell, keep doing what you're doing, buddy, but doubt we're going to be getting plus 140 or plus 150 in some department there on the Rays in this spot, considering how good he's been. Books already kind of are saying that he's good, which I'm a little surprised by, but they're pretty good at making money, I suppose. Let's take some money from them and bet other stuff. Yeah, you heard me. Other stuff, please. San Francisco money line, just a lean. It's because it's a bullpen game, and Zach Littell, I don't necessarily think that he should deserve all this love. We'll see. Yeah, it's 15 games. I expected more than 1 lock, but 1 lock is what you're going to get, and it's not too hard to figure out probably where I'm going to go with this one when Adrian Hauser is on the mound going up against a guy who's kind of becoming my darling a little bit, Bobby Miller. I think he's probably one of the more slept-on starting pitchers based on what I think the stuff could end up being. 45.3% ground ball rate, meh. We'll actually get to him second. Let's start with Adrian Hauser. 45.5% hard hit percentage, terrible. 271 expected batting average, not good. 18.1% K rate. Across the board, no redeeming qualities, no velocity. 5.9% barrel percentage. There you go. There's the one. We found the one true thing. But Bobby Miller, 3.89 ERA, 3.78 expected ERA, 7% barrel percentage. The sinker, the fastball. This is what I'm looking at. His velocity is going to start mowing dudes down if this slider, curveball, changeup combination can play the way it has his last couple starts. The sinker, telling you, this thing is moving at 99 miles per hour on average. He can ramp it up to 101, 102 when he needs to, and trust me, he's needed to in a couple of these spots. He went 91 pitches, 8 ground balls, only the 4 strikeouts, but he had 4 walks against the Arizona Diamondbacks that mitigated what could have been a really great outing. And the Dodgers, once they get to the 7th inning with a lot of these starters, they just shut it down. They have their plans. They know what they're going to do. Dave Roberts has basically just shown out and just said, hey, Ferguson, hey, Gratterall, you're coming 7th, 8th, stacking it up to the 9th. It's working for the Dodgers. We're not gonna go micromanage it, but I'm getting even money right now on the run line. This is wild to me. This is wild. The Dodgers, a 115 WRC plus against right-handed pitching with a 10.4% walk rate. That's second highest in baseball, going up against Adrian Hauser, who's not very good. And then Milwaukee has just an 89 WRC plus as a lineup with a 144 ISO against right-handed pitching themselves. What am I missing? In Dodger Stadium, where 9 total run carry the 1. Dodgers lock, -1.5. Dodgers lock, -1.5. Need I say more? Let's get out of here. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Tuesday's board. I'm going to be coming to you from a new location. Good stuff in real estate. And we're not even going to go there. BetMGM, friends, check them out. Great stuff. Only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But $1,000 of bet credits, 2 free months of Discord insider access, myself putting my betting card in there every single day, putting my money where my mouth is, showing you my tickets, showing you my love, talking through plays. It's a lot of fun. Love being a part of that community. Hopefully you will too. Thank you to producer Jacob, Papa Roach in the house. Beautiful stuff. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. He's never heard that one, except for heard it yesterday. I repeat myself. It's a circular joke. Some of you weren't listening, so it doesn't matter. I'll be back on Wednesday, friends. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.